So here I have my printed sheet. I highly recommend that you print it in as thick a card as you possibly can, or as thick as weight paper as your printer will allow. This is 160 GSM paper, which is about £40 in US. And you just have to glue the two pieces together and it makes a nice quality card. But I do have a hack if you don't have any thick printer paper. This is some printer paper which is about the cheapest you can get, which is 75 GSM, which is approximately £20 in weight. It's much flimsier, but I do have a hack and I can show you how you can still make really nice cards from this paper. So all you have to do to make the cards is fold them in half along the fold line. And then apply some glue. Any type of glue really will use. I like to use a glue stick, just using a Pritt one here, simply because it's the least messy. But you can use a spray glue or a liquid glue, whatever you have. You don't have to buy anything special, anything that's for paper. It's important that you make sure that you try to go around where you think the edges of the cards will be. You can usually just about see an outline. Make sure you apply plenty of glue because you don't want the two sides separating. Excuse me. Right, then all you have to do is simply fold it down, press it down together and then cut them out. And it's up to you whether you want to keep the black line in or not. I like to keep the black line if I can, but you don't have to do these neatly. The whole thing is to try to make these look handmade and personalised. For the corners, it's quite nice if you've got some rounded nail scissors. That helps it round off the edges. I usually cut out the edges at the end. Go. Now I'll just snip the sides off. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Now what you'll notice is if you do this while the glue's still wet, they might be a bit flexible, but once the glue's set, they'll become nice and rigid. And there you go, one finished courage card. So if you have thin flimsy paper like I have here, what you can do is stick a piece of card, any piece of card, just an old piece of card that you get from the recycling. You can stick in the middle and that will reinforce them. So here I'm just sticking the card in. You'll need to use lots of glue. And remember to glue both sides, because sometimes I forget. And it doesn't matter if the glue goes a bit lumpy because it'll smooth out in a minute. Okay, of course it's going to be a little bit harder to cut out these cards, but it will give a nice rigid card at the end. Press it down. There we go. I find this a really relaxing thing to do in an evening, just cutting out cards. I don't know why. Just like gluing them and sticking them. I find that really good activity to do when I'm watching TV of an evening. Right, snip off the corners. Okay, so that's these two cards. So you can see how this one with the card in between is much more rigid, and this one is more flexible and lighter, whichever is your choice. One more thing I want to show you is that you can of course make cards out of the just the back panel. The cards that are on these sheets are designed around the size of a traditional playing card, which is 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. But if you want a smaller card, you could cut one out based on a card of a credit card, which is slightly smaller. And literally all you have to do is draw around the outside with a pen and then cut it out. And here's one I made earlier to that size, which as you see is slightly smaller. And then what I've done is I've stuck on one of these printouts with emblems of self-help, which are available on our website free of charge. So if you want to get some downloads of these types of graphic printouts, then feel free to go on over to our website and download them. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy making these cards as much as I do.